Have you ever noticed that you feel deeply, but you don't always know why? That your mind never really turns off, even when nothing is happening? That silence feels loud and noise feels exhausting? Have you ever wondered why small moments stay with you for years, while other people seem to forget them instantly? Why you read the room before you speak? Why you sense shifts in energy before anyone says a word? And why, somehow, you feel both emotionally strong and emotionally tired at the same time? If any of that feels familiar, stay here. You learned early how to sit quietly inside yourself, not because you wanted to, but because it felt safer. You noticed that your feelings didn't always land anywhere, so you stopped sending them out loud. You became good at handling things alone, too good. You listen more than you speak. You notice more than you show. And yet, there's a strange loneliness that follows you, even in rooms full of people. It's not that you want attention. You don't. You just want to feel seen without explaining yourself. You often feel misunderstood, but you don't correct people. You let it pass, like you always have. You don't blame anyone. You never really did. You just learned that needing too much space in someone else's world meant shrinking in your own. So you adapted. You became observant, emotionally aware, sensitive to tone, sensitive to silence. And somewhere along the way, you stopped asking for emotional permission to exist. Emotional neglect isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. There are no clear moments you can point to and say, that's when it happened. It's quiet, subtle, almost invisible. It's what happens when your inner world doesn't get reflected back to you. Not rejected, just unnoticed. Like speaking into a room where no one turns around. So your mind learns something very specific. My feelings exist, but they don't arrive anywhere. That belief doesn't stay a belief. It becomes a setting, like background noise that never turns off. Imagine standing in a canyon and calling out your name, but nothing echoes back, no sound, no response. Eventually, you stop calling, not because your voice disappeared, but because it learned not to expect an answer. That's emotional neglect. You don't consciously think, my emotions don't matter. Instead, your inner voice sounds like, it's fine. I'll handle it. It's not a big deal. I don't want to bother anyone. Those sentences feel calm, responsible, mature, but underneath them, there's something softer, something quieter, something that learned to disappear gently. You feel things deeply, but you hesitate to share them. When something hurts, you process it internally first, then again, until the moment passes and no one ever knows it mattered, not even you, fully. When emotional needs aren't met early, the nervous system adapts, not by relaxing, but by staying alert. You become hyper-aware. You read micro-expressions, tone shifts, mood changes, not because you're anxious, but because awareness became your safety. Your body learned, pay attention, something important might be missed, so it never fully rests. Other people grew up with an emotional dimmer switch. They can turn feelings up, they can turn them down. You grew up with a switch stuck halfway, always on, always sensing, always scanning. You don't panic, you don't explode, you just feel constantly tuned in. What people call overthinking is often delayed processing. You didn't get space to process emotions in real time, so your mind does it later, at night, in silence, when no one needs you. Your thoughts replay conversations, not to criticize yourself, but to understand what wasn't clear when it happened. You're not stuck in the past. You're finishing unfinished emotional sentences. You understand emotions deeply, but social environments feel noisy. Small talk drains you. Surface conversations tire you, because your system is built for depth. You weren't trained to perform emotions. You were trained to observe them. So crowds exhaust you, but solitude restores you, not because you're antisocial, but because quiet feels familiar. Imagine someone who walks into a room and instantly senses the mood. They don't comment on it, they just adjust. They speak less, or softer, or not at all. They don't want attention, they want harmony. Imagine someone who feels deeply connected to music, art, nature, silence, because those things don't interrupt, they don't ignore, they just exist with you. Imagine someone who replays moments not because they were dramatic, but because they were subtle. A look that lingered too long, a sentence that landed wrong, a silence that said something. Imagine someone who feels strong alone, but strangely tired after social interaction. Not lonely, just drained. Imagine someone who understands others easily, but struggles to feel understood themselves. That person often becomes the listener, the emotional anchor, the quiet presence, not because they were chosen, but because they adapted. When you're quiet, is it peaceful or protective? Do you feel safest when nothing is expected from you? When someone truly listens, do you feel comforted or exposed? Do you feel more real when you're alone or when you're understood? How often do you minimize your feelings before anyone else can? And when no one is watching, who are you then? Just notice. There's nothing broken about you, nothing missing, nothing wrong. Your mind learned to survive quietly. It learned depth, awareness, sensitivity, not as a flaw, but as a language. And maybe, for the first time, you're hearing that language reflected back to you. You don't need to change anything right now. Just let yourself be seen. Here, you were always paying attention, and now something finally noticed.